Vince Vaughn made some comments on why good R-rated comedies are cooked. Here he is on this show. Well, it's a Hot Ones, and he discusses the decline of the R-rated comedy, and I'd like you guys to comment on what he says.
Hollywood no longer making the kinds of R-rated, wide-release theatrical comedies that were such a tower of strength in your career. How have you seen Hollywood's interest in making those kinds of films change over the course of your career, and what do you think are the forces at play?
Well, they just overthink it, and it's crazy. You get these rules. It's like if you did geometry and you said 87 degrees was a right angle, then all your answers are messed up instead of 90 degrees. So there became some idea or concept. Like they would say something like, you have to have an IP.
Right. Yeah, right.
So for some reason, Battleship, which is like a game we used to play like a graph, became a vehicle for storytelling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Whereas like an IP, like John Hughes from our neck of the woods, right?
Mm-hmm.
An IP was a girl's turning 16. Like every girl turns 16. Or I'm going to cut school. You know, life situations. Or old school. What if I got to go back and, you know, be in a fraternity now at this stage of the game? The people in charge don't want to get fired more so than they're looking to do something great. So they want to kind of, you know, follow a set of rules that somehow like get set in stone that don't really translate. But as long as they follow them, they're not going to lose their job because they can say, well, look, I
crunched the numbers.
Yeah, I made a movie off the board game Payday, so you can't, even though the movie didn't work, you can't let me go, right? So people want to laugh. People want to look at stuff that feels a little bit like it's, you know, dangerous or pushing the envelope. And I think you're going to see more of it in the film space sooner than later, would be my guess.
I mean, we're overdue for a really great R-rated comedy. What do you guys think?
I mean, what was the last good one?
New or is this old? Because I feel like someone else has said this exact same thing.
Look, this is an ongoing topic because R-rated movies, R-rated comedies in particular, were a staple. It's like you go to get ice cream. They have vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, right? You have a choice. You go to the movie theater, you got an R-rated comedy, you have a teen comedy, but he says something really interesting in there about universal things. A girl turning 16 as the sort of base for a comedy. Okay. Yeah. That's a thing everyone experiences, you know, except for men, but you know, that's a more universal kind of basis for a comedy than an IP where it's safe. Yeah. Hangover was the last great one. But do you guys have any comments on this? It's just, it makes me sad because we've removed these old sort of tried and true genres out of the theater where everything is safe, or it's what he's saying based on IP, right? Like it's got to be based on an existing IP, which isn't usually a book. It's a board game, a video game, a tried and true comic book or whatever.
What was Roofman? Was Roofman a comedy? Because that was R-rated, right?
Based on a true story.
Yeah, but that's also a bunch of bullshit. It has nothing to do with.
Well, it was like any true story made by Hollywood, very changed.
It has nothing to do with IP. It has to do with most of the comedies you can't make anymore because most of them were teen sex comedies. You're not allowed to do that because if a dude is 5 years older, he gets called a pedo. So we can't do those movies anymore. You can't say the F slur, even though apparently we can say it on this show now. So all the Hangover, Tropic Thunder, you can't do any of that. So you get milquetoast comedies that don't offend anyone, and comedy that's not offensive in some way ain't really comedy.
Yeah. You can't do it. The studio won't do it.
Right. And that's what Matt Damon also was saying. They're like, they don't want to take a chance on anything because they don't have like DVD sales to back it up.
And they're risk averse as well.
But
they're afraid of online criticism. And so you put a movie out that might offend somebody and they can't handle it.
That's but Scary Movie 6.
The weird question for me is this though, like they're already losing. So why not take the risk? Why not take the risk of making like the most offensive comedy ever made? See who goes to the box office, right? I don't know. I think this is BS. I think that the studios, this isn't about IPs. This isn't about things that work. This is just about the fact that they're all kissing the same ring, right? And the ring says that you cannot offend a certain group of people, right? You can't say a certain word. You can't show a certain boob, right? You just can't do anything that would be risque, but that's not because the studios don't want to make money. It's because they have to adhere to the same bosses, right? So I guarantee you, if one studio took the risk and said, you know what, we're just going to make a crazy R-rated comedy, fuck the risk, who cares? Guarantee you that movie will make money.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, they know that. The studio heads know this, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, what a studio should do is say, for every month of this year, we're going to offend some group.
Yeah,
we're going to make a movie.
Make it a month.
Yeah.
So let's offend everybody rather than try not to offend anybody.
Yes,
I think
everybody.
Yeah, I think Hollywood, as a whole, including like the actors and the studios, all of them, sort of virtue signals themselves out of making entertainment, like comedies, quality entertainment. They just like, oh, we stand with this person, we stand with them, we stand with equality, we stand with this. We at risk of offending, oh my gosh, we're going to apologize at every single turn. Sorry, our movie offended. Sorry, our movie offended this group. Sorry, we offended this group. We don't ever want to offend anybody. They virtue signaled out of being able to create anything. So they're just too scared to take a risk on it. They're too scared to do it. They don't make any movies like that anymore. I know that I did see the Wayans brothers came and they're like, oh, if the new Scary Movie does good, then we'll do sequels to all of our other movies, including like White Chicks, and I can't remember what other movies they did.
I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I think they said they
Yeah.
were.
Oh, that'd be
doing
great.
that.
Yeah, they're like, if
Bring
this
it
movie does
back.
good, then we'll do this again. And like, I don't know, maybe that'll open doors for people to start, making comedies again, comedies that people like. But at the same time, I think that it doesn't matter. People are like, the new generations, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're rediscovering all of this old entertainment from like the early 2000s and even the 90s, and they're complaining about it still to this day, and they're calling it problematic. We can't make this movie today, and these are the reasons why. And they're posting all this crap on social media, and people are buying it instead of being like, dude, it's a movie. Why are you offended? Just sit back, watch it. If you have a problem with it, don't watch it again. You don't have to put your voice out there to everybody and say and have other people agree with you. You don't have to do that. You can just not watch the movie again. You can be like, okay, well, I didn't enjoy that. I'm not going to watch it again. Instead,
make White Chicks 2. Make Black Chicks 1.
I think
Think about it.
part of the problem is the studios care too much about what 300 people say on X.
That's
Who
the problem.
cares? They need to start paying attention to paying moviegoers, not a few. And look, when you look at cases where they shut something down or canceled something, the actual number of people complained is so low. It's shocking to me that they give a crap about that.
Did you hear what Margot Robbie said? That's literally what Margot Robbie just said. Make movies for people going to movie theaters. Stop making movies for the people that are online, or making movies for the critics, or making movies for everybody else. Make movies for people that go to movies. And the people that go to movies want to enjoy comedies. R-rated comedies was always a big, hit back in the day. So why not just continue to make them as raunchy and as dirty as you did back then? And the people that don't like it, they won't go and watch it. And there's the problem solved.